Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Today I have Rachael McDaniel with me. I'm pretty stoked for this conversation. We had a conversation, I want to say it was like a year or two ago, actually. You were one of the very first guests on the podcast. And this is our third year. This is our third season. So I'm stoked to see what's kind of transpired for you over the last few years. And I'm really excited to hear more about your business and how this whole this journey has begun and where you're at now. So I am going to let Rachael take the floor. Rachael, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you're doing now, and then we can kind of dive into the story behind that.
Sure. Yeah. Hi. Thank you for having me again. I know it's been awesome. I think 3 years for both of us. Lots changed. I'm here today to basically chat about my personal styling business and what style and fashion means to people. I am 31 years old and I live in Washington State with my husband and our animals, our cat, dog, 2 horses. And I work in the county treasurer's office by day and am moonlighting as a personal stylist.
Moonlighting, I love that. Moonlighting, and by night, I'm this. Okay, so I know when I was growing up, I wore, I'm going to say, half the time I wore hand-me-downs and I had no idea how to dress myself. Hell, I barely have any idea how to dress myself now. I'm like always looking on Pinterest and things for inspiration, or I just like message you, what's my body type? What's this? What's that? So can you kind of tell us what started this journey into fashion? Because I also find it very interesting that like you're a horse lady, you're a horsewoman, and you don't typically see like higher fashion and horses. So that's not Western related. So I love that too. So let's hear how this started.
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, I think you always look great through high school and school and everything. But yeah, kind of the same thing. I grew up with, not a whole lot of income. My mom was a single mom, so we didn't have a whole lot of disposable money. And she does not care about fashion at all. You mentioned like horse people. She's like the typical horse person, like wearing her pajamas all day with like horse hay and hair and like mud boots all day long. Like that's her. She does not give a rip. But I don't know, when you're younger and in school, you're always, I don't know, I think it's really normal for a lot of kids, a lot of girls to feel very self-conscious about what they're wearing. All the, better off girls are wearing, name brand stuff, Abercrombie and Hollister and, all that stuff. And it's kind of just shitty to see that and be here, in our like Walmart duds. And
back when Walmart had shitty clothes, Walmart actually has cute clothes now.
Right? I know, Walmart. Thanks for letting us down. So and as I went through college and I got a job and I started making more disposable income. And then, of course, I've always loved fashion. I grew up with my grandma for a while. I lived with her and she was always super well dressed. She was like, she always had the Chanel bag and like accessories, her makeup, her hair, like oh my God, she would like make Chanel patterns. She was amazing. She always looked really good. And just going to throw this in here. She's the one who taught me how important eyebrows were. Eyebrows are extremely important. I remember I was like 9 years old going to school and she's like, wait, we need to comb your eyebrows. And I remember thinking like, what the fuck? Like nobody's looking at my eyebrows. Wrong. Everyone looks at eyebrows.
That's like
eyebrows
the first thing.
Now.
Eyebrows and smile, like that, those are the two things that you notice. And this is so funny you mentioned eyebrows because I've seriously, and I know I've talked to you about this, I've talked to several people about this. I need to bite the bullet and have mine like professionally done. Like I'm over it.
Oh my God, seriously, get microbladed. It will change your freaking life. I'm not even exaggerating a tiny bit. So she was like with it, always with it. And so I knew a lot about fashion. I knew it looked good. I knew how to put outfits together. We just couldn't afford them. So that was even more like excruciating, I feel. When finally I had more disposable income and could go shopping, I just kind of went wild and packed my closet with everything that was cute. You mentioned Pinterest. Yep, hopped on Pinterest, like got all these cute outfits together, bought all this crap, and my closet was stuffed, overflowing. When we moved into my house, I was like, "Can I just have the whole closet?" To my husband, and he just like glared at me like I was just a ridiculous person. So, but I always felt like I still have nothing to wear. We all feel like that as women. We stand there and we stare at our closet every morning and we're just frustrated and we just go screw it and put on the same thing that we've been wearing. Women typically only use 20% of their closets. So, depending on how many clothes you have, that's probably not a whole lot. Um, so
Unless you're
I
me,
start
I have like 4 closets full of clothes. 20% would be 1 closet.
I know you're a ridiculous person, but I love it.
I'm a work in progress.
I love it so much. I can't wait to, yeah, progress with your own fashion journey. Um, so what was I talking about? Okay, so yes, so we have nothing to wear. So I started getting into, I don't know if you've ever heard of it or if listeners have ever heard of it, but there's these things called capsule wardrobes. And basically, it just lays out your basics, like a few tops, a few pants, a few shoes, a few coats, a few cardigans, and basically that's your wardrobe. It's like a minimalist wardrobe. You can mix and match and make a zillion different outfits with just these few items. And I was like, oh, this is super interesting. So I tried doing a little bit of that, and I still felt like I had nothing to wear. And so I started following these stylists on, social media, what have you. And they were always talking about like dressing for your body type, not your size. It's important to wear your correct size, but it's also really important to dress for your body type. And there's all kinds. There's inverted triangle. There's the classic hourglass shape, which is just gorgeous. There's an apple shape, round shape, rectangular shape. You have athletic bodies. There's all kinds of them. And these stylists basically break down what cuts, what colors, what fabrics, what looks the most flattering on your body type. So that was super interesting, along with like color palettes. If you're cool skinned or warm toned, different colors will look better or worse on you depending on your skin tone. So I thought this was super interesting, and I started putting stuff together. I work now in an office, in a government office, and business casual is the dress code. So I have to wear nice skirts and heels and tops and no jeans. Basically, you can't look like a scrub at work. So I started putting all these outfits together, and I'm not kidding you, Sasha. People every single day stop me, like my coworkers, of course, they're like, "Oh, you look so cute." My friends, "Oh my God, you look so cute." Everywhere I go, like people are stopping me on the street. People are stopping me in the
No
store.
way, really?
I swear to God, every single day I get a compliment on my outfit. So I was like, maybe there's a little more to this. And then we chatted. I worked with you for a while, and you're like, yeah, people get paid to style people.
This is a thing. This is a business.
Yes, people do this. And so that was like big, like you say, aha moment, like light bulb went on. I was like, oh, damn. And so a lot of these online stylists will do online classes where they teach you, they break stuff down, they break outfits down, they break your body type down, your skin tone, how to put outfits together, what works for your life, what doesn't work for your life. And then a lot of them, or some of them, will either shop for you or go shopping with you. And they teach you how to do that. They teach you how to pull your items. They teach you how to do the pre-shop, work with your clients, this, that, and the other thing. They teach you everything. So I've taken, I think, 3 different classes now online, styling classes, and I just eat it up. Like, I get home from work and I just log on to my classes and I go through all the exercises, and it's just such a blast, and I just love it. And so I'm at the point now where I think I can start helping other people. My girlfriends would be like, "Hey, I have, this coming up, this special event coming up. Will you come help me like pick out outfits?" And I was always like, "Hell Yes. So I think I'm just starting to branch out now into doing that for everyone, for strangers, for women. So I'm super stoked to get started on it.
I'm super stoked for you to get started on this too. So I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into the process. So for let's use yourself as example. I think that that will probably be easiest. But can you kind of explain to us about like the body shape and how how just give us a couple examples of body shapes and what would be a good fit for those, or like what process you walked yourself through, what process you're planning to walk new clients through.
Sure, sure. So I'll just go through kind of the process A to Z. So say I'm a stylist, or I'm a styling client. So I hired myself to style myself. The first thing we would do is I would usually come in and check out their wardrobe, their closet, and we would go through item by item and toss anything that either doesn't fit anymore, doesn't just doesn't look good on them, whether it's the color or the cut, and anything. The general rule is anything they have not worn in the past year gets tossed. So then once we have kind of a slim down closet, then we organize everything by color. And the reason you do it by color is because when you're, putting an outfit together and you go for, let's say, a black top that you think would look good, and you're going to your black tops and you're looking for the one in your mind, but you see a different black top and you're like, oh, actually, this would look even more bomb. So that's why we do that. Um, so after that, we kind of assess the closet and we assess your lifestyle, what you do, what you need these clothes for. Are you working in an office? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you really athletic? Whatever you're doing. And then we put together your closet. We look for gaps in the closet. So a lot of the times, a big frustrating point for women is that they don't have their basics. They have all these cute special items, but they don't know what to pair them with. So you gotta have your basics. It's very important. You need like a black tee, a white tee, maybe like a neutral, like a gray or a navy tee. You need a pair of black pants. You need a dark pair of skinny jeans, a flat, a sandal, a heel, all for example. So we identify the gaps and we make our shopping list. And then there's a few different options of how we can do it. You can either go shopping with me if you're here and you want to spend that much time with me. I can shop for you a couple different ways. We can.
Yes. Sign me up
What?
for that one. Sign me up for that one.
Oh my God, seriously, get your butt out here. Let's go shopping. Can you imagine how fun? Oh my God. Um, so we either go shopping together or we set up an appointment, say, okay, I'm going to meet you at Macy's at 10 o'clock and I'm going to have their dressing room pretty much stocked up, ready to go. Outfits, everything, all set. All you do is meet me there, try this stuff on, buy what you want, put back what you don't. I can also buy and return things for you. So that would be, me going to the store, picking up all this stuff, bringing it back to you so you can try it on in your house at your leisure, and then returning it, of course. But that's, it might be kind of limited depending on where you want to shop. Some stores allow returns, some don't. Or I can always shop online for you too. And that's been pretty much the most popular one. I live in a little cow town. I live in Ellensburg in Washington, and there's not a whole lot here. There's a couple little clothing stores, and we have a Fred Meyer. And so we don't have a whole lot. So I've been shopping online for a lot of people and just sending them links. So yeah, that's basically kind of the big overall process. And then I guess using myself for an example, for your body type, essentially what styling does is it looks at your body proportions and it tries to even them out. So you think about the classic hourglass figure, right? You got an itty bitty waist, you got beautiful big hips, you got, typically a larger bust, long slender legs, long arms. It's a really beautiful body type because it is so proportioned. You're as big on top as you are on bottom. So basically all the other different body types, I'll take myself for example, I'm an inverted triangle. So I have wide, pretty big shoulders. My husband's always like, you look like a bodybuilder. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
I don't
God.
think I know. I'm like, I don't think, well, that might be a compliment to bodybuilders, but for me, I'm like, I don't really lift. I don't play that game. So thanks, honey. And then I have narrow hips. I don't have a very defined waist. My hips and my waist all just kind of go straight down and narrower. I don't have a big booty. I've got long legs. So basically, I look kind of top heavy. So what I try to do for the inverted triangle, since I'm wider and bigger on top, I try to make my bottom match. So that means like flared jeans look really good, boot cut jeans to give me a little more volume around my little chicken legs, like A-line skirts where they're tighter on the waist and then kind of flare out are super flattering because that balances me out. Um, like a romper looks good where there's not like if it's more strappy on top and then with like a flowy bottom, that looks good. So basically that's what we do. So for like a pear shaped gal who's got a bigger booty and wider hips but still has a waist and is kind of tiny and dainty on top, we would do the same thing except in reverse. So we're going to go with maybe like a lot of women aren't super stoked about the shoulder pad phenomenon.
Is that really a thing still?
Oh, it's back. It is big this year. Oh yeah.
Really?
I
Oh, see, I feel like I know nothing about fashion. I'm that V-neck, black t-shirt, jeans type of person.
No, but that's great. That's classic. And that's like a huge tenet of style is most people aren't dressing off the runway because the runway gets pretty extreme and they do some pretty crazy stuff. There's a type of style called camp, and it's like outrageous, like circus clothing outrageous. Like the bigger, the wilder, the better.
I think I
It's just
saw that recently. That reminds me of like a Lady Gaga fashion.
yes, exactly. Gaga is camp for sure. So obviously, like, your day-to-day woman, you're not going to dress like that. So the runway basically is great for inspiration, but if you're talking about true everyday style, like someone who just looks good every day, no matter what they do, no matter what they throw on, it's basics. So like you said, like your black v-neck top with, good jeans that fit you really, really well. Maybe wearing a little booty or a heel to kind of elongate your legs. That's that style. Being able to put basic pieces on and maybe jazz it up with some jewelry or a fun piece. Um, that's what most women are going for. So what were we talking about? Body type
Just,
still?
yeah, dressing your body types. But then you said something about like jewelry. And so this brings up something for me because I'm also very simple when it comes to jewelry. I went through like a jewelry phase where every time I went to a store, they have all the accessories at the checkout and I just like grab a bunch of stuff. So I felt like I almost had like a ton of what I would call costume jewelry. And I find now that I have a lot more simpler pieces. So for example, like today I'm wearing just some basic stud earrings, like some silver chromish looking stud earrings that match a necklace that says O in it, like O for Oakland. I need to get a B for Brooks, but I feel kind of weird wearing BO on my neck. So I have to get something that's maybe not as like, I have to get something different. I think I might get like a stone necklace or something because I can't come to wear BO on my neck. But like I keep it very simple. So like what do you recommend, I guess, for jewelry, or is it vary by outfit, or what do you see that's like trending right now?
So jewelry, I find jewelry kind of more of a personal thing. So there is, depending on your skin tone, some like silver or gold is going to look better or worse on you. If you are a warmer toned person, gold tends to look better on you. If you're a cool toned person, silver looks amazing. But that does not mean that you can't wear gold if you're a cool toned person and wear silver if you're a warm toned person at all. It's just going to complement you the best. But as far as styles, I would go with basics. Like you said, I have a pair of pearl earrings, just little studs that I love. I have a pair of little diamond earrings that I love. I have a pair of like a long string of pearls, little dainty things, and then I've got big things too. I have the squash blossom necklaces, like the really Western ones. So that's really personal, I think. But I think the biggest piece of advice to wearing accessories and accessorizing wearing jewelry is a lot of women tend to overdo it. So they'll have the earrings, the necklace, the bracelets, the rings, a belt, and it's too much. So the best piece of advice I've ever heard was to remove the last accessory that you just put on. That's
Like
pretty much it, right? Yeah, yeah. So you don't want to overdo it, but man, the right necklace or the right earrings, bracelet, what have you, will really make an outfit pop. So that's something that you just kind of want to play around with. It depends on how loud your style is. Like, Lady Gaga style, if you want to go super camp, you're going to have huge, like, costume jewelry, like you said. But there is a place for costume jewelry, and it can look very classy. Like if you had, for example, just a black outfit, completely black monotone, with a really nice poppy costume jewelry and really nice necklace around a turtleneck or something, it does have its place. But I think another good piece of advice would be for people who are maybe like a shorter torso, or who are a little apple shaped, where you tend to carry some weight in your waist and you want to look more long and slim and trim. Go with long necklaces, because that's going to draw the eye down and up your body, and it's not going to be as attention bringing as like a big chunk on your chest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So then my next question is, how do we mix what's trending and what's classy so that we can still have like the classic pieces, but then also be like trendy and like on point to what's coming up, but also not look like a teenager?
Totally, totally. So the way I feel about trends is, you don't have to jump on board with every single trend that comes around. You don't have to be super anti-trend either. It again comes back to your skin tone and your body shape and what you're doing. If you see a trend that works really well for you, by all means, go for it. Get it. If you try something out and it's just not really working with you, don't rock it. Like, just leave it if it doesn't work for you. With the most recent styling class that I'm in, this girl posted something about having this Pinterest board full of stuff that she can never wear, and stuff that doesn't work for her, stuff that's way too expensive. And she's like, that's my way of still having this stuff and being able to look at it and love it, but it doesn't work for me, and I know that. So yeah, just whatever works for you, go for it. What doesn't, leave it.
So what's your take on animal prints? Because I've seen that these can be also trending and classic, but I love the way they look on other people, but I like don't personally know how to pull them off, or if it's like a certain I don't know, personality or a certain look. Like, how do people who enjoy animal print, or what's your take on that?
Sure, sure. And that you have a very common point of view when it comes to animal print. Some people love it, some people hate it. You're totally right. Leopard has been huge the past year or so. And it's funny because, like, oh, I don't know, 5, 10 years ago, when I would see someone like with a leopard blouse or something on, I was like, oh wow, like that's really cute, but you don't see very much of it. And this past year, we've seen it everywhere. We've seen it in the Western world. We've seen it on the runway. We see it every day now. And you're right, leopard is totally a classic. It originated way back in the day with African and Egyptian royalty, where these people would actually go out and kill a real leopard and wear real leopard fur, which is, I'm gonna, just, it's cruel to the animals, yes, but how badass is that back in the day? And
I know what you mean.
yeah, I don't want to say, I
I
don't
don't
want
think
PETA to
there's
come after
any,
me.
there's no PETA people listening to this, I don't think. So, I mean, I'm not killing any cheetahs or leopards in my house, but I know what you mean.
Right, right. I mean, like, if we were like in Africa back in the day, we'd be badasses killing leopards, but it's not
Yeah,
necessary anymore. We have
we'd eat the
artificial.
meat and wear the clothes, right?
Exactly. But, So since then, leopard it has this huge reputation, and I listened to a podcast literally all about leopard print, and I freaking loved it. And it's had this history. It started coming out in Hollywood probably in the early 60s. The 60s were a time where women were really just kind of cutting loose. We were burning our bras. We were doing all these drugs, free sex, free love, da da da. And um, it started getting this reputation like, oh, like only wanton women wear leopard print, or, just it didn't have a very good reputation until defining moment for leopard in America. Jackie O, Kennedy's wife, showed up
No
in
way.
yes, oh my God, Google it. She looks amazing. She showed up in this
That's incredible.
beautiful leopard coat, and she just really brought it into class. It has always been a classic piece, a classic print, but that was really the defining moment where America went, okay, it's not just for trashy women or, scandalous women. It has its place. But even now, even today, you'll see people who either associate it with, like my favorite example is Peg Bundy on Married with Children. Remember, with the huge hair, and
Oh
she
my
wore like the
God.
leopard print tights. Oh my
Yes.
God, hilarious. So funny. And then, but you see it all the time. I think the first lady now, Melania, wears leopard, and you see it everywhere. And it doesn't have that reputation anymore, but people will still associate it, personally with whatever I guess sticks out in their mind. But yeah, oh my God, I love it. I've been going crazy on the leopard. Oh my God, I have freaking shoes, skirts, tops, belts, like yeah, it's definitely made itself into a wardrobe staple for me. So
See,
for
and I
you,
want to, I'm being reserved about it. I need to just bust outside that comfort zone a little bit more and get a little leopardy. So
do you associate it with trashy? Or is that why? Are you like, ooh, that's too?
no, I feel like I don't know, like me. So all of my fashion stuff, and maybe we can, I can kind of voice what questions and concerns I have, because I'm sure I'm not the only person. Like fashion scares me, because I don't know how to mix and match. So when in the beginning you said something like, oh, you wake up in the morning and you're like overwhelmed, like looking at your closet, I have nothing to wear. Like that has always been me. And so over the years, I've gotten less and less creative with what it is that I'm wearing because of that overwhelm. And I have like decision fatigue like crazy when it comes to clothes and dressing myself. And I would just like overthink to the point where I'd throw like a toddler tantrum and I'm like, I'm not going, I don't have anything to wear. So now what I do is I buy very, very basic pieces. And I've almost taken like the fashion part out of it because I get overwhelmed so easily. And so I see these pieces like leopard print, for example, where I'm like, oh, I love that. Like that looks so cool. But my underlying fear is I'm going to buy it and it's going to sit in my closet in hopes that I wear it because I'm not sure how to piece it together. So dressing myself in that sense is overwhelming. So I just don't do it. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of women, just your probably day-to-day woman who doesn't really follow fashion or into it, and might have kind of a skeptical view about leopard anyway, they probably aren't aware that leopard is actually, it's a neutral. So you can literally wear it with anything. It goes great with black. Obviously, it has black tones in it. It goes great with like a tan neutral color. It looks amazing with red, green. You can literally wear leopard print with anything and it's going to look good because it's a neutral, just like your white tee, just like your black tee. And if you're kind of scared to venture into the leopard world, I would maybe start with smaller pieces, maybe like a belt or a cuff. Or one of my favorite things to do is with my leopard boots or leopard sandals. You can wear it with literally anything. And that's a nice kind of a pop of color. Like in the winter when you're wearing a lot of like, darker clothes or monotone clothes, throw on some leopard booties and boom, you instantly just pop.
I love that. So you just said something that made me, okay, so I'm going to go, next time I go shopping, I'm that go big or go home. So I feel like I'm going to come home with like a leopard print everything. Like
Yes.
but my big thing is I'm not going to allow myself to wear them all at the same time, because then that in itself would be too much. But I would do something like that, like, hey guys, like look at me, I'm fucking cheetah over here, whatever. um, but you did say something that prompted me for another question, and that was, your winter wardrobe. So what do you suggest to people as far as like seasons go? Is there certain like colors or styles, or are there certain staples for every season? Obviously, wear pants and long things in the winter and warmer in the winter, but I mean, is there certain like colors or styles that correlate to a season?
Totally. And I don't want people to get too hung up. A lot of people get hung up on like, oh, like the traditional fashion rules and the seasons and the colors. Basically,
Yeah.
you don't have to. Um, fashion has no rules. Rules are meant to be broken, basically, in fashion. It was so funny.
Yes, I should be a fashion guru, because that's like my bet. Like, that's what I say all the time. Rules are meant to be broken.
It's innate. You have fashion intuition.
I love it.
But yeah, so I was getting to work the other day, and one of my coworkers like ran up next to me, and she's like, "Hey, I have a question for you. At what time of the year can you start wearing white pants?" And the answer is you can wear pants any freaking time you want. They always say like can't wear white after Labor Day. Now, yes, you can. That's silly. Um, so I mean, of course, every season kind of has, like you said, in the winter you're wearing longer sleeves, you're wearing pants usually. Usually people will wear darker colors, but that does not mean that you can't wear a freaking hot pink blazer with your black pants and your heels going to work. Typically, in the spring you'll see like the pastel colors. Florals are a huge spring staple, but that absolutely doesn't mean that you can't wear your florals in the fall. I do all the time. I love them. And again, with fall, you'll see like that mustard color coming out. You'll see deep reds. You'll see browns. We kind of get super earthy in the fall for some reason. But again, that doesn't mean that you can't wear those colors all the time. If they look good on you, rock it. I think the biggest thing with seasons is, like you said, just like long sleeves, short sleeves, tank tops, pants, skirts. It just kind of changes with what's going to be comfortable, basically, with the weather that you're in.
I love that. So what else, I guess, do we need to know about fashion? Like, what other questions are things that you get asked on a regular basis?
Um, that's a good question. I don't think there's really like a broad question that's overarching because it's so personal. Like every woman is dealing with a different part of their body that they're not a huge fan of, that they want to kind of minimize. Like a belly. Ooh, a belly, I guess, would be a big one. A lot of women are self-conscious about their belly. And what they'll do is they'll wear like loose stuff, like a big old shirt, and you look like a sack of potatoes. Like, stop that. If you have a belly, that doesn't mean that you're just gonna wear a potato sack for the rest of your life. So the key to that, there's a whole bunch of tricks and tips you can do. One would be like a higher waist jean or a higher waist pant. Wrap sweaters look really good. It's still going to give you a little bit of definition around your waist, but it's not going to expose you because of the wrapping. It kind of covers it up a little. Layers are always good depending on how long your body is, how short your torso is, like a crop jacket with a sweater underneath. So basically you're just going to want to elongate yourself. So wear like V-necks or low cut tops are really good because they're going to draw the eye up. So people aren't going to be so focused on your belly. Let's see, big prints are good, or better than smaller prints typically to kind of cover it up. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much the basics for the belly. But yeah, that's a big one that I deal with a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, even like me, I guess I don't give a shit a whole lot, but I do know that even like after kids, my body type has changed. And so that's kind of like the fashion crisis that I'm going through now, is everything that fit me, 3 years ago, I guess technically fits me size wise, but it doesn't fit my body shape anymore. My hips are a little bit wider, my stomach isn't as flat, my butt's a little bit bigger. And while I can like squeeze into things, they just don't feel right. You know what I mean? And so like people's bodies are constantly changing and evolving. And so what's kind of like your rule of thumb when it comes to finding clothes that fit you, or like when should you toss them? Or I know you kind of went through this in the beginning, but I mean, if it's something that you really love, do you still just like get rid of it if it doesn't fit right?
So there's a couple different options. First, yes, you always want to have your correct size. If you don't know your correct size, get a piece of string, wrap it around your waist, wrap it around your natural waist where where your waist curves in the most. So not like where you're wearing like low-rise pants. That's more of your hip area. So measure your natural waist, your actual hip area where your hips are widest, and then measure around your bust line where your boobs are the widest, and that will give you just a really good base of your measurements. A lot of like, you'll see size charts where it'll be like small, medium, large, so many inches to so many inches fits, a small best, and then the next category up, bracket of inches fits medium best. So to get, Victoria's Secret is always huge because they do the free bra sizing. Like that's a big thing for them. You go in and you get your actual bra size, which, yeah, makes a huge difference. So first of all, yes, measure yourself, know your measurements. Second of all, wear your size. There is no such thing as a muffin top. Muffin tops are caused by ill-fitting jeans. You're wearing jeans that are too small, too low rise. It doesn't look good. Size up, get a higher rise on your jeans, and you're gonna look way better, way slimmer, no muffin top. Another thing that's big is when people say they go on a diet and they're starting to lose weight, and a lot of women will say, well, no, I don't want to go shopping yet because I'm still losing weight. No, stop it. You want to look good all the time. There's great like clothing rental options where you pay like so much a month and you get to bring clothes in, send them back, rent your clothes for like a month or so. There's those options. You can always buy a little cheaper when you're changing sizes. Fast fashion has a really bad reputation currently, or always, I guess. And so fast fashion is going to be like your Forever 21, your H&M, Zara, and they're very trendy and they're cheap, but you're going to suffer a little bit on the quality. The quality is not going to be there. You're not going to buy something from Forever 21 and have it for the next 10 years like you would if you bought it from like, Dolce & Gabbana or anywhere from Nordstrom, Macy's, a higher quality store. But it's great for when you're changing sizes a lot. So always wear your own size. And when you are going on a diet or losing weight, you still want to feel good. You still want to look good, because chances are when you lose a couple pant sizes and you don't have anything to wear, you're going to wear, spandex. You're going to wear jeans that are too big for you. You're going to be swimming in your clothing, which doesn't make you feel very good. And it's not very motivating when you're on a diet or when you're trying to look better. So always just kind of find something that fits you at the time, because that's going to give you a big confidence boost too, and be like, oh, I can actually see my results and I'm starting to look better and I like the way I look better. And then as you whatever your goal is, lose more weight or become more defined, more toned, you're going to move along with that with your fashion, and you're always going to feel good about yourself. And I think that's a huge tenet of just personal style anyways, is just always feeling good about yourself. So always wear your size, know your size, buy cheap if you have to. Let's see, what else? Anything else that I didn't answer?
No, yeah, going off of that. So you kind of talked about like measurements and knowing your measurements. So maybe that's one thing that I need to do, because I haven't done that in years. And I know that my measurements are going to be way different than what they were, say, 5 years ago. So that's going to be one thing that I also need to do. But my question that comes up around that is, what if you're, you said like an inverted triangle, or maybe your legs are longer? Like, what is your recommendations when it comes to, or what do you suggest for people when it comes to alterations, and like tops or bottoms? What's your take on that?
That was my other point that I was skipping over. Yes, alterations. A lot of people don't have a tailor, don't even think about it. But if there is something that you love, your favorite pair of jeans, go get them altered. There are quality tailors everywhere, but you're going to want to go to a quality tailor. And a good trick I have for that is to call the most expensive store that you know of in your area and ask them where they send clients for tailor. for alterations for their clothing. And they should be able to hook you up with someone really good. And again, you're going to want to actually go to the tailor, put the item on, and tell them exactly what you're looking for. If you bring a pair of jeans in and you're like, hey, I want to wear these jeans now, but they're too short for these exact pair of shoes that I have with me. So I need these jeans to be let out a little and hit the floor right around my sandal. Or if you have a top that you absolutely love and you can't get rid of it, go get it tailored. If you lost a bunch of weight, go get it tailored. I bought this white skirt online. It was a white tweed skirt and it was freaking gorgeous and I loved it. And even though I checked the sizing, sometimes you just never know online. So I got it and I could squeeze into it, but it was like, whew, like sitting all day and that sucker wasn't going to feel good. So yeah, I took it and got altered and now I wear it all the time and I love it. And yeah, it fits me great and it feels good. So yes, tailor, huge.
So you said something about the jean length, and that reminds me because sometimes I see, you know, everybody obviously has different size of legs, and some pants are short on people, some pants are long on people. Is there a particular spot on like your ankles or even like your knees when it comes to skirts, or even like your hands or your wrists when it comes to long sleeves? Is there a specific area that people can kind of eyeball that would look better than another? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think I'm picking up on what you're asking, and it all depends. It depends on, are you wearing flare jeans? Are you wearing skinny jeans? Are you wearing boot cuts? What are you wearing them with? Are you wearing them with a flat, a sandal, a tennis shoe, a heel, a boot? So that all depends. General rule of thumb, I guess, would be if you're wearing like a heel or a boot, don't wear high waters. That doesn't look good. And by high waters, I mean when you're standing, you can, you know, the hem of your jean is sitting at your ankle and your entire foot is exposed below the ankle. That never looks good unless you're wearing like a cropped pant that's supposed to be like that. But you technically, usually those aren't going to be jeans. They're going to be like a baggier, um, like maybe a palazzo pant or something along those lines, a crop jean or a crop pant. So that would be a good one. A lot like when you're wearing booties with skinny jeans, some girls will tuck the jeans into the booty, and sometimes that doesn't, there's certain jeans and boots you can get away with that with, but most of the time you're going to want to, you know, cuff your jean. You can cuff your jean just once with like a big cuff. You can roll it up a few times with a smaller cuff. So that kind of stuff I would all just play with. I just saw this comparison. I think it was like Eva Longoria, maybe she's shorter, and she had on two different like a jumpsuit romper type of thing, and one they were both shorts, but one she had the sleeves all the way rolled down, and the second one she had them rolled up to like that 3/4 length. And I guess if you have shorter sleeves on like that, not short sleeves, not like a tank top, but like a 3/4 length ish, or when you like roll up like a long sleeve blouse, that makes your legs look longer. And it did. So there's a bunch of different stuff that you just got to pretty much play around with that. I wouldn't say there's too many, you know, hard, fast rules as far as that goes.
Okay, cool. I love that. So my last few questions before we start to wrap this up. One, like, where do you get who's your main people you follow for style inspiration? And then what stores do you typically shop at?
Sure. So the two probably big stylists that I really love and I really follow, one, her name is Lauren Messiah, and she's huge in LA. She's like the most sought after personal stylist in LA. She's amazing. She does a lot of really cool things. And then the other gal who I really like, her name is Christy Russell, and she's up in Canada. I think she's in BC, British Columbia. And she has a lot of great stuff too. If you want to check out both of those women, Lauren Messiah and Christy Russell, have YouTube channels, which are just packed full of awesome information. I've learned a lot from them. I'm taking actually one of Lauren Messiah's classes right now. So those are the two that I would recommend that I got a lot out of. And then as far as stores, I hate going to a store. I'm a personal shopper, stylist, but I get hot, I get
I'm with ya.
thirsty. I hate it. So I am obsessed with shopping online. And Poshmark is fantastic. I get so many pieces off there, like high quality, good pieces for dirt cheap. My favorite thing to do on Poshmark is to type in something and then you can sort the results from lowest price to highest price. So say like you want like a Coach bag, type in, Coach whatever, Coach crossbody, Coach whatever, and then sort it. Girl, I'm talking Coach bags for like 20 bucks. Nice, perfect condition.
Seriously?
I swear to God, go get on
Oh,
Poshmark. If you don't have it and you sign up and you use my referral code, which is my first name, Rachel, Rachael, with an additional L on the back, 89, you'll get 10 bucks off your first purchase too.
I'll put that link in the show notes too. If you send it to me, that way people can just scroll down to the show notes and then click the link and it'll bring them right to that page.
Totally, totally. So yeah, that's probably, I love it. That's my biggest shopping extravaganza is Poshmark. Love it. Can't get enough.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. Well, what else do you have, if anything? Like, what do you want to leave listeners with today?
I think I would just kind of leave it with personal style is just that. It's very personal. And it's huge. It really makes an impact on your confidence, on your self-esteem. Like think about like the last time you like nailed an outfit. Like you're feeling like hot shit. Like you just feel good. Like your whole day is just like, yes. And the same thing, like if you show up to a job interview and you're really just not feeling your outfit and you don't know about these shoes and you wish you would have worn maybe a different blazer and maybe your accessories are overdone, you're going to be thinking about that and you're going to be thrown off. You're not going to be at your A game. So fashion is so much more than just, looking good and following trends and this, that, and the other thing. It's very personal and it can really do some amazing things for your life.
I love that. I feel like I learned so much and I'm so excited to learn so much more from you. So where are you hanging out? Where can people get more info? How can they contact you?
I'm everywhere. So
I know what you mean. Me too.
totally. So Instagram, I'm probably most active on Instagram. My Instagram handle is RM, my initials, Rachael McDaniel, RM, Style Therapist. I also have a Facebook page, which is just my name, Rachael McDaniel Style Therapist. I also have a website, which is my full name, Rachael McDaniel, with the numbers 478.wixsite, WIXSITE.com /website.
I love that. Well, thanks again for hopping on today. I really enjoyed this conversation. I really did learn a lot, and I'm excited to see where you go with this. I'm excited to see where you take this. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, I want to encourage you just to screenshot, share on social media, tag us. I will also put Rachael's, all of her contact information, her Facebook, her Instagram, her website, her Poshmark ID too, so you guys can follow her and find out more information. And as always, I hope you guys have a kick-ass day. We'll talk to you soon.